Today we see a few more transformations. Yes, sir. So here I have a data lake, a Delta Lake. The name is Delta Lake, but it is the data lake account only. Under containers, I have raw data. So already you know the scheme of this file regularly what we are using. There are 5 fields and the 9 rows are here. Before moving into the sync, I want to eliminate some of the data. I want to take only selective data. So for this, in data flows, you have a filter transformation, filter. In our previous example, you have seen about what is that? Conditional split transformation. Okay. Similar to that, the filter here. There is ADF. Already existed ADF instance I'm using. Already I have a data set for this input file data set. I will show the data set name, this one. Okay. Under raw data container, that is the file is emp3.txt, which has 9 rows. Now I want one container, output container. I'll create a fresh container for the to store the output. Let's say results file. For this output container, I am creating data set in ADF. Gen 2, I am selecting another delimited text. But in the output file also, I need a header. Otherwise, header will not be written, only data will be written into this one. Giving the name DS result file. And linked service for this storage account is ls underscore delta lake delta 101. The container I am selecting. No need to select any file name here. Just click on OK. Data set and everything is ready now. Just publish. It is completed. Now come to the pipeline. The new pipeline, the pipeline name. Let's say DF pipe 1 or filter. So first I'm dragging this data flow activity here. Come to the settings. Creating a new data flow. Configuring that source. The source is your EMP3 file. Just selecting that. Before moving into the sync, I want to take only condition matching rows only. That's why adding a filter transformation here. The filter will be under row modifier here. Okay. So here in the filter, you have to configure your condition. If you check this, the output stream produced by this transformation is filter 1. Input is coming from previous transformation, which is source 1. So in this box, you have to plan the condition. But one thing here, come back to the source. In the case of source, go for the projection. You can check the schema. Whenever you have taken data from a file, every field is taken as a string by default. If it is string, to apply some numerical comparisons or numerical expressions, a lot of numerical expressions will not work out on string variables, even though it is a number. So that you have to apply type conversion functions to integer, such kind of functions. Instead of doing that, directly here itself, you can change the data types. I'm going to apply a filter based on salary. That's why I'm converting that salary into integer. So still department number, if you want, you just convert, and ID you want, just convert. But in this example, I don't want to touch. That's why only the salary I have converted it as integer. So now come back to the filter. In the case of filter, in the condition box, click on expression builder. Here apply your condition. Simple, my condition, salary greater than 50,000 I am giving. So even multiple conditions that you can configure. Here you have different operators. Okay. So salary greater than 50,000 is my condition.
Sir, I have a question here. When you're reading from file, you typically get it as a string.
Yes.
Here we are not using any kind of string conversion functions in the earlier flow, which you said.
Yeah. Actually, previously you applied 2 integer function. You have applied for comparison.
Yes, yes, that's what my question. But here we are not doing it. You're just changing it to
integer. That's it. Because
that
in the file itself, file itself, you have converted it. In the file itself, in the file projection, you are converting. Look at the salary row. Salary row is converted as integer. Then no need to apply any explicit function for that.
Okay, only when it is from table yours. But in the last example, like I think we could have done even over there also while reading itself as a.
No. In that last example, what we did, we keep salary as salary only. We did not do any change. Understood?
Okay.
Just to keep salary as string only, we did not do any change over here. That's why in the condition box, you applied that to integer function. Okay, but here already
over there also, if we are keeping it while reading from the file as integer, we wouldn't have required that conversion at the condition box, right? In the previous example.
Yes.
Okay.
But here already we have changed it. That's why in the condition box, we did not give any 2 integer of salary. Okay. Directly sal, because sal is already integer here. Okay. Now, so condition side, everything is done. Now I'm adding a sink for this. Sink is in the last. The sink data set I'm giving here, which is the result file. Result file is selected. Okay. Now almost all configurations are ready. So whenever I have given some sink, if sink is already existed, it will write output into existed one as a separate file. One more new file will be created. Suppose you want to override that, just from the sink, go to the settings. Here you have an option, first option, clear the folder. Suppose if the given sink container or folder already existed, first it will clean up that folder and then write the new results. Okay, now I am publishing this. Debug mode still off. We forget to switch on that.
We can execute via trigger also, right, sir?
Yes, yes. Just wait for a few minutes.
If we want to execute via trigger, we don't need to wait for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go for the trigger, the problem is at the time of initiating Spark cluster instance failure problems will occur.
Mhm.
If it is debug mode, first it will start Spark cluster in the data breaks. Okay, once it is confirmed successful notification released to the ADF, then it will start the execution. If it is debug, if it is a data flow debug,
Okay.
like that.
Sir, one more question. Like typically, whenever we are trying to write it to a data set, Spark writes in the partitions in its internal format, right?
Yes, yes.
So if you're writing to a table, like typically if you're trying to update or doing some inserts in a big table,
yes.
like is there any place like Spark tries to store similar way, like in a partition file or whatever
No.
the
First,
file which
in the
internal file?
in memory, Spark prepares partitions. After this,
Mhm.
each partition will be separately injected into the table.
Yeah, once it is inserted to the table, would that still partition like
No.
as part of batch?
Once
If
job
we run
execution
it and like,
completed.
can we after the batch
No,
completion, like
no,
after some time,
no,
can we
no,
view the partition?
no. Once the
Okay.
Spark job execution completed, all partitions from the in memory will be vanished.
Okay. But if it is kind of a data set, it stays for
Yes,
some time,
yes,
like because when we saw.
yes.
Okay.
But still it is loading, so just please wait. Next onwards, whenever we start portal, immediately we start that debug flow.
I think this would take 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, just remember this flow name, that is a data filter. What is the name we have given? Data pipe filter. Okay, keep this name as pipe filter. Later we will execute it. Now, one more pipeline I want to show you with the derived column. Actually, my input file is having ID, name, salary, gender, and department number. But in the output, what I'm expecting is ID, name, salary, gender, department number. Additionally, a tax, HRA, and then net salary I'm expecting. I want to generate some of the new fields. Okay, debug mode is enabled. First, let's execute this. Enabled. I'm running this pipeline. Process is in progress. Okay, so process is succeeded. Please check your output. Results file under this partition. You don't have all the data, you have only data whose people salary is greater than 50,000. On that way, any condition that you can plan here without writing any query or without writing any code. Similarly, I want to generate a new fields, especially to do the second task. But same data set I will be using, sir. Come for a fresh pipeline, or else I will do modification in the existing pipeline. Just open the data flow. I'm removing filter. So between source and sink, I'm adding one more, which is a derived column. Source, sink, between that a derived column you have added. Come to the derived column. Here you can add new columns. So first column straight away you can add like this. I want tax. What is the expression you want to apply for the tax? Go to the expression builder and give your expression. For this salary, I want to apply 10%. That's it. So expression number one, column one is added. And second, HRA. For this 20% I want to apply. For salary, 20% of salary, I want to make it as HRA. the salary into 0.2. And one more. I want net salary. Here, just check what kind of error with my expression you will get. You can observe. For this salary, HRA I am adding. Tax I am deducting. This is net salary. But showing me as a wrong expression. Just check it here. Okay, expression type could not be evaluated. That means here tax and HRA, these two fields will be committed, not into the database, will be committed into the memory after completion of the transformation execution. That means the tax and HRA not yet ready. That's why to do that, just do the modification here. In the place of HRA, I am giving in brackets salary into 0.2 minus salary into 0.1. This is for tax. Okay. Now this expression is clean. Now this is valid. Okay. So the expression is ready. Go to the inspect. You can check. This is just for expected output schema. So previously only 5 fields, now 3 fields. 3 fields have been added into this. Now into the sync. Already I have selected clear the folder. Data set, same data set I am going to use. The data set is which is the result file. Come to the sync. Data set already we have selected result file. Sorry. Result 5 is selected. Even though the container contains some of the files, first that will be cleaned and fresh files will be loaded. Okay. Now I'm going to publish and run the same pipeline.
Sir, in the derived column, can we have some kind of surrogate key generation process or like generating surrogate key
So
by loading it in final table?
for surrogate key, you have a separate transformation here,
Oh, okay.
not in the derived column. Okay, you have surrogate transformation, separate transformation existed here. That thing we have to use. Here only with the derived column, you can apply only 2 things. Like you can generate a new column, that's it. Or you can modify existed values. Suppose to each employee, some 10% of the salary you want to give increment in the same thing. That means you want to do updation. Okay, still the process is completed. Now in the output file, we should check, we should contain 8 fields. Please check the same container. Previous files have been overridden. This is a fresh file. Now we should have 5 fields. Sorry, 8 fields. So including the header, the data will be written. Okay. And one more operation I want to show you. With the select operation also I want to show you. Whatever the order I am getting, this order I don't want. After salary, I want tax, HR and net salary, then gender, then department number. I want to modify the order of the schema. So that's why for the same thing, I'm adding one more. Just I am not going for new pipeline, opening the same. After derived column, I'm adding selected transformation. The select. Already configuration of source one, derived column, everything is ready. Come to the select. For the select, input is coming from derived column. So what kind of settings that you need to do is, if it is auto mapping in the same order, no question of modifying the schema. The first column is ID, but ID should be as employee ID I want. With select transformation, what you can do? Three things that you can do. What are those, Ceci?
We
Renaming
can
column,
remove
rename column,
columns,
remove column, and also
ordering.
ordering columns. You can change your order. Suppose the first one ID, just I am keeping as employee ID, just rename. Second one name, I don't want name, just click on this delete button. The name will be deleted. In the output, the name will not be written. Okay. Salary, after salary, what I want is, I want a tax. So this tax should be as tax. Then next column should be HRA. Here I'm keeping it as HRA. Next I want net salary. Just keep it as net salary. After that I want gender. Gender is not selected. How to bring it up? Max capacity reached.
Decrease the font size, sir. It will.
What, so this is giving me irritation. Or else is there any option?
Can't you move the columns up and down? Likewise.
I'm trying that only. But even that the
Yeah, you can
moving,
change the above one as gender, and then we can drag that one to down, right? Yeah, somewhere top and then down.
1 minute. Now this technique is working out. This department number, I'm keeping it as lost. HRA to HRA tax is missing, huh? The tax X. Okay. If any column you don't want, just click on the delete button, that will be deleted. So these are the three activities. One column name you have renamed it, and after that you have reordered the columns. If any column you don't want, you just click on the delete. Okay. In this sync, I'm keeping same, but in the settings, clear the folder, I'm choosing the option. Okay. Now I'm publishing this. Done. Now run this flow. Okay, completed. Please check the output file. Now this is our output file. Order is as expected. After salary, you are keeping tax, HRA, net salary, gender, department number. Okay. If any column you don't want, you can remove it. That too, the first column is ID. Here that is renamed as employee ID. Okay. So in this way, in the last pipeline, if you observe, within this, all our previous activities are available. First derived column, then you are changing the order by using select, then you are writing into output. Output can be a file, output can be table service. Simply one guideline is there. The guideline, especially all these guidelines are recommended for big volumes. If it is small volume, no need to care. Okay. Don't perform transformations and load into DB tables. That can be snaps or that can be even SQL also. Okay. So the process extract and load into data lake and perform transformations. The transformed data right into data lake. Finally, from data lake to your DB tables. So between data lake and DB table, don't try to use any transformations. Okay, whatever the data that you have process data, finally keep into the data lake. That means here the suggestion is keep data lake as a staging. Always keep data lake as a stage. Once all transformations completed, final data you just upload into table. While loading into table, don't perform any transformation, so that our loading time will be a lot of saved. Okay, this is just not a rule, only recommendation. If it is small volume, no need to worry. Okay.
Sir, in such case, like when we have multiple, can there be multiple data flows within the same pipeline? Or like how can we set up dependencies? Like suppose some condition is met, only then run the subsequent data flow.
Yes.
Or so
you have if condition activity, right? Now in this moment, what you do is you will use version 1 and version 2 combination. Suppose I have two data
but
flows.
It is within the same data flow, right, sir?
Yes, no. Think that I have created two separate data flows, DF1, DF2. How to create separate data flows? Go to here.
Yeah.
Here you have data flows, right? Directly you can create data flow here. Okay. Think that you have two separate flow. If you have if condition activity,
Mhm.
In the if condition activity, two things you need to configure. One is condition. Second one is true activity and false activity.
Okay.
In the case of true activity, I give the data flow 1. Data flow 1. In the case of false activity, I give data flow 2. Now, based on the given condition, if condition true, one data flow, if condition false, another data flow will be executed. So, so this is like a combination of version 1 feature and version 2 feature. Understood, sir? Already, if condition activity we have used for the conditional split, some ADF files we are moving into one container, remaining files we are keeping into one more container with the help of get metadata. And then for each.
Yeah, this is in the case like when you're trying to do only the entire data level operations within the
Yes.
data flow.
Yes.
In typical data warehouse scenarios, when we try with dealing with different Unix files or anything,
Yes.
like if there is some kind of like script which needs to be executed between the data flow 1 and data flow 2, I don't think that can be done using the if condition, right?
No. So at that time you have to write PowerShell. If you want to use some external scripts between the data flows, okay, you have to write PowerShell scripting.
So there is something like script execution
Yes.
task within Data Factory?
Within, not in Data Factory. Additionally, you have to trigger it. PowerShell can access data flow components.
Okay.
Okay. So on that way, suppose if there is special scenario between the flows, you want to execute something. So at that time, additional scripting, PowerShell scripting, you need to write it.
And same, the PowerShell has to call the both the data flows.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Let's see in the next class. Tomorrow, more transformations we will see. I will check any recordings pending from my side for this batch. So what was the last recording? Can you name it? I think in the December 31st we have, sorry, New Year also one class we have taken. What's the date? We have taken about conditional split in the data flows. If you know that date, so please remind me. If any video is pending, I will upload. Okay, sir.
We got Jan 4th recording.
Jan 4th.
After that, no.
Okay, I will check and I will.
Jan 4th only, I think that is the
Synapse, I think.
Synapse Analytics.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Sir, what are the other topics left? Could you just
Within the still other few more transformations we should know, and then Power Query, and then on-premise data.
Okay.
And also the parameterization, right?
Parameter that will be into the climax.
Git also, I said there was one more topic
Git will be
Git
helpful.
promotion and
So majorly within the ADF side, what are the pendings I am saying that. Okay, sir. Let's see in the next class.